All right, Shalom, giving all praises, honor, and glory to our power, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachak Kodash, double honors to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone, peace, bless the hopeful elect. All right, we're going to read a few things here, dealing with, as you see the title, the Black Obelisk of Shalmaneser III, which I'm not sure if that's, pretty sure it's not unknown, but maybe there's someone out there that doesn't know, so we're just going to read a little bit about it today. So go ahead and get it started. This first one here is from Bible Archaeology Report. It says 3 Assyrian inscriptions about Hebrew kings. All right. Now it says even a cursory reading of the book of Kings and Chronicles reveals that the Hebrew kings had many interactions with the kings of the surrounding nations. During the 7th and 8th centuries BC, the Assyrian Empire was the most powerful nation on earth, controlling most of the Middle East, from the Persian Gulf to Egypt. It's hardly surprising then to read about these powerful Assyrian kings in the pages of Scripture, right? It actually lists them. It says Tilgath-Pileser III, Pul, 744 to 727 BC, 2 Kings chapter 15, verse 19, 2 Kings 16, 17, 1 Chronicles 5, 26. Shalmaneser V, 726 to 722 BC, 2 Kings 17:3, 2 Kings 18:9. Sargon II, 721 to 705 BC, Isaiah 21. Sennacherib, 704 to 681 BC, 2 Kings 18 and 19, the whole chapters, that is, the whole books. 2 Chronicles 32, Isaiah 36 and 37. And Ezra-Haddon, 680 to 669 BC, 2 Kings 19:37, Isaiah 37:38, Ezra 4:2, and Ashurbanipal, 668 to 627 BC, Ezra 4 and 10. All right, so it says, what is interesting, and I would grab all those scriptures, but it just makes this so long. It is not necessary to go into all of these different individuals. It says, what is interesting is that we also read about Hebrew kings in the Assyrian records. Several of these inscriptions confirm specific events described in the Bible, although they are described from the Assyrian perspective, obviously, because, it's no different from what we deal with now here in America. All right, they're not going to take you to school and give you history as it is. They're going to give you history according to what they think you should know, which the majority of it is false history. All right, they're going to tell you that there's certain individuals in this world who have dark skin, but they'll tell you it was a so-called white man, an Edomite. All right, in which we talked about the other day, inventions and things that have been invented by Israelites, but you wouldn't know because the white man has either changed the skin color or stolen the idea, or maybe it's just not known, or whatever the case may be. But it's no different, the conquering side is always going to tell history according to what they see fit. They're never going to tell history for what it is. All right, they're going to always make themselves look big over the individuals that they conquered or they rule over, or so on and so forth. It says several of these inscriptions confirm specific events described in the Bible, although they are described from the Assyrian perspective. Here are 3 Assyrian inscriptions about Hebrew kings. The tribute of Jehu on the black obelisk of Shalmaneser III. All right, and I have been looking into this for a while. Just now, it's probably been at least a month now, and I never got around to it. But the other day when I saw the brothers do that particular video with that whole walkthrough, what was it, Indianapolis, which never mind. I keep it to myself. When I saw that, it prompted me to just go on and just, do this as well. All right. It says the tribute of Jehu on the black obelisk of Shalmaneser III. All right. And as you can see, because we're going to get some other stuff as well. This guy right here is supposed to be Shalmaneser III. All right. And that right there would be Jehu. Look at this guy, man. You can see he's an Israelite. You can see he's a so-called black man. All right. But let's move on. And this is the original, I don't don't know if it's a wall relief or whatever. Actually, no, it's not. I believe it's all just only on the obelisk. So I believe it gives the size somewhere down here. But we'll just continue on from there. It says, Jehu, king of Israel, is seen kneeling before King Shalmaneser III of Assyria, offering him tribute. This relief is part of a black obelisk of Shalmaneser III in the British Museum. All right, and this obelisk, I believe it has like 5 panels on each side, with different individuals who were paying tribute to him. All right, and there's Jehu. Now, this may not be one of the great standpoints of Israelite history, obviously not, but it shows the Israelites were there in history. They do exist. And, as you can see, this guy looks like a so-called black man because he is. I mean, he's an Israelite. All right. Which we're different shades of brown, but you get the point. Let's continue. It says Jehu was an army commander when says we, probably meant he, probably misspelling. It says Jehu was an army commander when he was anointed by a prophet as the next king of Israel. 2 Kings chapter 9, which we're going to get a couple scriptures here too at the end, just to show you that Shalmaneser, not Shalmaneser, but Jehu was around. This lines up, put it that way. Let's continue. It says, from these humble beginnings, he was raised to the most powerful position in the land. His reign did not go well, however, scripture records. But Jehu was not careful to walk in the law of the Lord Yahweh, the power of Israel, which I believe that's in chapter 9, 2 Kings 9. It says, with all his heart, he did not turn from the sins of Jeroboam, which he made Israel to sin. All right, and that's going back from that original split, Jeroboam and Rehoboam, right? Northern kingdom of Israel, southern kingdom of Judah, right? These were the first leaders of the split, all right? It says he did not turn from the sins of Jeroboam, which he made Israel to sin. In those days, Yahweh began to cut off parts of Israel. 2 Kings, all right, so that's in 2 Kings 10. Is it? We'll double check it. I thought it was in 9, but we'll double check it. But it says 10, 31, and 32 ESV. Either way, it's between, all dealing with Jehu is all in 2 Kings chapter 9 and chapter 10. It says the Bible goes on to describe some of that territory was taken by Hazael, king of Syria. Apparently, Jehu's disobedience led to his humiliation, before the Assyrian king Shalmaneser III as well. This is portrayed on the black obelisk of Shalmaneser III, which depicts Jehu bound before the Assyrian king. The accompanying inscription reads, the tribute of Jehu, or Awa, or however, you pronounce it in that particular language. But I think we're going to see that again, but it doesn't matter. It's talking about Jehu. So, it's good that you see this now. So when you see this, it's talking about Jehu, all right? If you see it again, it says the tribute of Jehu, a son of Omri. And here you see they call him by a different name, Husumri. But let's talking about Omri. So if you see it again, Jehu and Omri, all right? It says, son of Omri, I received from him silver, gold, a golden saplo bowl, a golden vase with pointed bottom, golden tumblers, golden buckets, tin, a staff for a king, and wooden perutu. All right. And I believe we're going to actually get to see, because I believe there were Israelites who were carrying these gifts. All right. Those show Jehu, bowing before Shalmaneser III. There were Israelites that also are on the obelisk who were carrying all these particular gifts. It said, it should be noted that Jehu was not the son of Omri, but rather a successor to the Omri throne. At that time, the Assyrian kings referred to most of the kings of Israel as the son of Omri. While we have no record of this specific event in the Bible, it is certainly in keeping with the general description of God whittling down Jehu's kingdom in punishment for his disobedience. The tribute of Ahaz and the summary statements of Tiglath-Pileser III. Now, we don't have to go into this because we're not dealing with Ahaz. We're dealing with, Jehu, and this is a whole different, inscription and stuff like that here. But, just to show you there's other information out here. The siege of Jerusalem under Hezekiah in the annals of Sennacherib, right? So that's something that you can look into. And I think there's some more down here. Okay, so that was it. But yeah, so with that, we'll bounce back and I'll grab one of these other ones here. right? Make sure it's still recording. All right, so it says the Jehu relief. This is from Bible history, maps, images, and archaeology, right? The Jehu relief. Okay, it says the black obelisk of Shalmaneser. He will raise a signal for a nation from afar off and whistle for it from the ends of the earth. And lo, swiftly, speedily it comes. Isaiah 5:26. I have no idea why that's in there. But let's just continue. Here's that same relief. All right. And look, see, you see other individuals doing the same thing, bowing for him. Not saying that those are Israelites, but other individuals, bowing before Shalmaneser. All right, the third. But this one right here is said to be Jehu. All right. So it says, look closely and notice the man bowing to the king of Assyria. The black obelisk of Shalmaneser stands nearly 7 feet tall. Yeah, here it is. I thought we were going to get the height in the other one, but here it is. It says it stands nearly 7 feet tall and 2 feet thick. On each of the 4 sides, there are 5 panels with carvings of various kings, bringing tribute to King Shalmaneser III. You see? So, and this is why you see everyone bowing, because these are different kings paying tribute to Shalmaneser, all right, the third. All right, so it says that the second panel from the top of the obelisk reveals King Jehu of Israel bowing at the feet of Shalmaneser of Assyria. This is the same Jehu who is mentioned in scripture, and this carved relief is the only image in all history of one of the Hebrew kings. On the panel, Shalmaneser is offering a libation to his god. The cuneiform text around the panel reads, "The tribute of Jehu, son of Omri. I received from him silver, gold, a golden bowl, a golden vase with pointed bottom, golden tumblers, golden buckets, tin, a staff for a king, and spears." All right. And this is probably the side, I'm pretty sure, but it's just a picture, So let's continue. It says, let's see, here it is. You see, all these different individuals. I think it's going to describe everything that's going on here. It says, all right, so it says number 1, examining the Jehu panel. Number 1 says it reveals how King Jehu paid tribute to Shalmaneser III, and that's Jehu bowing there. It says King Jehu grovels in the dust before the Assyrian king. Now, that's a little bit extra, if from my personal opinion is that that's just being extra. But hey, you know how these people are. But anyways, it says Shalmaneser is making a libation to his god, and you see him with this whatever it is, looks like a bowl or something in his hand, and you got this I forget what you call it. I believe it also goes back to Zoroastrianism. I might be incorrect about that, but I'm talking about this little bird-looking thing there. It says Shalmaneser is making a libation to his god. Behind Shalmaneser III stand 2 officers. One holds a parasol, a royal umbrella, and the other a club. So let's go and see these guys here. All right. Okay, so the other guy's cut off, but we saw him in the other panel. But this is the one holding the parasol, and the other had a club, I think it said. Yeah, a club. All right, but we maybe we'll pull him back up again and see. Number 5 says opposite the monarch, 2 grooms in waiting have taken up their stance. One waves a fan and a censer. The other, carrying a scepter under his arm, has his hands respectfully clasped in front of him. All right, you can see them right there. The guy with the scepter, the guy with his hands clasped, and so on and so forth. All right. I'm sorry if I went too fast. I don't want you to see it. All right, so there's the other guy. I forgot. All right. And you notice how Jehu's dressed a little differently from the other individuals here. Now, let me see here. 6 says there is a bearded officer with an attendant leading a procession of 13 Israelites laden with precious gifts for the Assyrian king. All the Israelites have beards. All the Israelites have beards. all the Israelites had beards. I had to say that multiple times because, there's this, especially living over here in America, where they tell you the shave and you clean up nice and, you know what I'm saying? Try to tell you, to shave to get a job sometimes and this and that, the third. No. Israelite men have beards. All Israelites have beards. The men, that is, not saying the women, some bearded ladies or whatever. But yeah, this just goes to show you, just like Yahushua is described in Daniel chapter 10 and Revelation chapter 1, all right, a dark-skinned man with white woolly hair. And though it doesn't describe his beard, we know by the customs of our people, the Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, the 12 tribes of Israel, our men have beards, all right? And this is I guess you would call this secular history back in that point up. All right, our men have beards. Now there are some men out there who can't grow beards, especially dealing with Issachar. Now there's Issacharites with beards, but a lot of times you see a lot of Issachar, they can't even grow beards. But that's okay because that's natural. Now, and I'm pretty sure in the kingdom they'll be able to grow beards, but on this side right now, you'll notice like a lot of Issachar can't grow beards. They'll be bald faced, like like they were still 15, 14 years old, right? But there's a lot of Issacharites who do have beards, all right? Uh, Judah most definitely, they grow beards for real, all right? Um, Ephraim, they grow beards, right? I mean, all our men we can grow beards. It's in all of the tribes, right? Well, some men just can't grow beards. It's this natural thing, all right? But I just pointed out with Issachar because you see that a whole lot with Issachar. Like a lot of Issacharites can't really grow beards, but then there are some who can grow beards, and a lot of times they're usually thick. But anyways, it says all the Israelites have beards. Back on number 7, and wear peaked caps and bandeau, which is a long robe with fringes round the hem and a girdle, a long cloak with a fringed end thrown over the shoulder, and pointed shoes. All right. Then I'm not even trying to be funny, but they damn near just describe like what a Smurf will wear. All right, pointy shoes and a pointed hat. They probably took the Smurfs from this. I'm not saying this Obelisk, but just from the particular attire. But that's that's most definitely reaching. Just made me think about it though. But look at his hat though. I wish I could turn to the side for you, but you can see it, right? Looks like a toboggan or a beanie or something, right? And like I said, notice how he's dressed, slightly different from the rest of the individuals around him. Okay, so it says all Israelites have beards and wear peaked caps and bandeau, a long robe with fringes round the hem and a girdle, a long cloak with a fringed end thrown over the shoulder, and pointed shoes. All right, number 8 says Shalmaneser, beneath a parasol, which was that umbrella, accepts the tribute of Jehu of the house of Omri in 841 BC. And I believe this was discovered back in 1846, right? And not saying that it was just now talked about in 2023, but let's just for sake of this particular conversation say that this was discovered which was discovered in 1846, but it was just now talked about in 2023. That'd be let me do some math here. Like 177 years. All right. If it was just now talked about it now in 2023, that would be almost 177 years where this has not been in public, eyes, right? Public view. But it shows you how these Edomites, they know, because they have archaeologists, they have excavation sites. They don't go and dig just for the sake of digging. We're just going to have a fun day with a shovel. No, these people are actually searching for the past. They're searching for history, and they do their research thoroughly, and they go out to certain excavation sites and they dig these things up and they find them. And a lot of things that they find are kept hidden. All right. It says Shalmaneser beneath a parasol accepts the tribute of Jehu of the house of Omri in 841 BC. And this obelisk was dated back to 841 BC, and which kind of ties in with the reign of Jehu, because I believe his reign, if I'm correct, that was from 842 to 815 BCE. So about 27, 28 years. All right. So that lines up with this obelisk that was dated back to 841. You see? But anyways, it says the house of Omri in 841 BC. This is King Jehu of Israel, 2 Kings chapter 9 and 10, what we talked about, right? It says the inscription reads, the tribute of Jehu, son of Omri, I received from him silver, gold, a golden bowl, a golden vase with pointed bottom, golden tumblers, golden buckets, tin, a staff for a king, and spears. The symbols of the gods, Aser, winged sun disk. All right, you see that right there? Actually, I'm sorry, right here. Okay, and then it says an Ishtar star overhead, which is that right there. Okay, so there are little false gods and their idols and things, right? And this is the symbols of the gods Aser, winged sun disk, and Ishtar star hover overhead. All right, and this is what he was talking about. You know, Shalmaneser III under the parasol, the umbrella, giving tribute, or you know, or not tribute, but I forget the word I'm looking for, but libation to their little false god or whatever. All right, it says another fragment mentions Jehu. Jehu is also mentioned on another fragment from the annals of Shalmaneser III that was discovered, which says, then I took tribute of the Tyrians, of the Sidonians, and of Jehu of the house of Omri. In the 18th year of my reign, I crossed the Euphrates for the 16th time. Hazael of Damascus trusted in the power of his forces, marshaled his troops in full strength. He made Sinir, or Mount Hermon, the summit of the mountain opposite Lebanon, his stronghold. With him I fought and defeated him. 6,000 of his soldiers I brought down with weapons, 1,121 of his chariots, 470 of his horses, together with his camp. I took from him. To save his life, he fled. I pursued him in Damascus, his royal city. I shut him up. His plantations I destroyed. As far as the mountains of Haran, I marched. Towns without number I laid waste, razed, and burnt with fire. Their innumerable spoil I carried away, as far as to the mountains of Baal Rasai, situated close to the sea, the headland at Dog River. I marched. My royal image I set up in that place. At that time I received the tribute of the Tyrians and Sidonians, and of Jehu the son of Omri, Shalmaneser III, Annals 841 BC. Right, so British Museum. Yeah, there's some, you know, there's some history in the British Museum. We probably won't read through more of this. The second register from the top included the earliest surviving picture of an Israelite, the biblical Jehu, king of Israel, brought or sent his tribute in around 841 BCE. Ahab, son of Omri, king of Israel, had lost his life in battle a few years previously, fighting against the king of Damascus at Ramoth Gilead. 1 Kings 22, 29 and 36. I don't know why the XXII is there, but that is 22 if I'm correct in Roman numerals. It says his second son, Joram, was succeeded by Jehu, a usurper who broke the alliances with the Phoenicia and Judah and submitted to Assyria. The caption above the scene, written in Assyrian cuneiform, can be translated. The tribute of Jehu, son of Omri, I received from him silver, gold, same thing we've been reading, all right? That might be it for this. So I'll take you, what was that? Let me see. Okay. So there's, all right, so that's it for that. That was from Bible History, Maps, Images, Archaeology, the Jehu Relief. So we'll go and grab this one more here. All right. Pull this one up. Give it a second. All right, here we go. Now, this is the last one. It says the Black Obelisk of Shalmaneser. Same thing, same information, but we'll get it real quick. It says the Black Obelisk of Shalmaneser III is a black limestone Assyrian statue with many scenes in bas-relief and inscriptions. It is the most complete Assyrian obelisk yet unearthed and is historically meaningful because it represents the earliest ancient depiction of a biblical figure, Jehu, king of Israel. Right, and that's that same relief again. Okay. It says, so our story begins. English travel archaeologist, chiefly known as the excavator Nimrud and of Nineveh. He uncovered a large proportion of the Assyrian palace reliefs, and in 1851, the library of Ashurbanipal. Layard did not really mean to undertake excavations in Mesopotamia, at least not at first. In 1839, at the age of 22, he traveled with a friend to Sri Lanka from England. All right, and this is the one I've been telling you about. It says, in this photo, the scene in the bas relief that depicts the part of the gift-bearing Jewish delegation of King Jehu. So all those things that were given as tribute, these are Israelites, supposedly Israelites, right? Which they look just like Jehu. Look at it. Israelites carrying these different gifts as tribute to Jehu. And look, they all got the the beanie looking hats on. They got the garments described as it said. Got the fringes on it. Look, the pointed shoes. You see it all because you couldn't see Jehu's feet, but you can see theirs. All right. So let's roll out a little bit so you see it. I mean, beautiful artwork, but at the same time, like I said, this isn't one of the high points of Israelite history. But hey, history is history, man. It just shows. It's just more proof, All right, let's just roll on out. Zoom out. It says they had gone through Turkey and visited Jerusalem, Petra, and other ancient cities when they finally reached Mosul, whatever, in May of 1840. The archaeology bug bit him. Although only in 1845, Layer is officially beginning to excavate. They were at the site of Nimrud, which he first thought was ancient Nineveh. All right, so let me see else here. It says before the first day even ended, he found rooms with walls covered with carved inscriptions. As it turned out, the room belonged to different palaces from the inscription. Layer found it was clear that a few of the structures and the monuments at the site of the structure, Layer found it was clear that a few of the structures and the monuments at the site belonged to Shalmaneser III, who ruled from 858 to 824 BCE, right? And that lines up with everything we talked about with the dates. If those dates are correct, all right. Black Obelisk, well, its discovery doesn't really matter, but it was dated back to 841 BC, and if I'm correct about Jehu's reign, that was from 842 to 815, somewhere give or take, if that's correct, all right. But it says Shalmaneser III, who ruled from 858 to 824 BCE, later published a book giving it the title Nineveh and its remains, since that's what he thought he was excavating. And here's the entire black obelisk of Shalmaneser III in the British Museum, all right? Like I said, beautiful piece of artwork, as in history-wise, coming from a, artistic standpoint, but it's not, it doesn't shed any light on the Lord or Yahushua or the Israelites or, so on and so forth. All right. These are different individuals paying tribute to Shalmaneser III. And those are those Israelites right there. It looks like it. Yep. So I'm guessing, because I'm trying to figure out how it works. All right. I'm trying to figure out how it works. Because I don't see Jehu on this side of the panel. So maybe if you go right or left, those are the panels on each four sides. There's maybe 4 panels for each of the individuals that were paying tribute. So I'm guessing Jehu is over here to the right or maybe to the left, because I don't see him up above or down below. But those are definitely those Israelites that were carrying those particular vessels, all right, for tribute. So Jehu is probably on another panel to the left or to the right or on the opposite side of, on the same one, because it did say from the second one from the top. So yep, that's exactly how it has to work. All right, so figure that out. What we have, it says, however, this has turned out to be an unfortunate choice. We don't really need to read into his excavation archaeology history. It says it features 20 relief scenes, 5 on each side. They depict 5 different subdued kings, bringing tribute and prostrating before the Assyrian king. One of those kings is Jehu of the house of Omri. The inscription that appears in the second register. Yep, see, there it is, case in point. The second register from the top is thought to include the earliest surviving picture of a biblical figure. All right, the inscription read, the tribute of Jehu, son of Omri. I received from him silver, gold, a golden bowl, a golden vase with pointed bottom, golden tumblers, golden buckets, tin, a staff for a king, and spears. The inscription identifies Jehu as the king who was bound down and paying tribute, and it identifies Jehu as successor of Omri, the father of the northern kingdom of Israel. 1 Kings 16:2, Kings, 1 Kings 16, and 2 Kings 9 and 10. This inscription confirms the existence of 2 biblical kings of Israel. All right, it says the 4 illustrated faces of the Bible. Of the black obelisk. The second row of reliefs illustrates the Jewish delegation of King Jehu. So let's see if we can roll this up. All right, so there's Jehu. Right, and Shalmaneser III. All right, you notice Shalmaneser III is also above, right, in the other person's panel, right? But there's Shalmaneser III and Jehu. These are other individuals that we described once before, right? Walking behind, these individuals. Okay, and now this was not described. Judging by how they look, those are definitely Israelites. All right, because look at what they're wearing. All right, because this is the one that we saw right here. So there's 1, 2, 5, 10 Israelites bringing all these particular gifts. You see, and then Jehu, and I can't blow it up anymore. That's as far as we can go. But yeah, because we saw this 5, and these 5 and these 5 were described, but these 5 were not talked about. But you can see, according to their particular garb, their dress, they're the same individuals. Yeah, because even the one at the top looks the same, but those are, I can't say those are Israelites because it says the second relief from the top, and this is the second panel here. These 4 sides, and it lines right up. All right, so whoever that is, on the first and the third and the fourth and the fifth, not sure. Pretty sure it's searchable, but hey, we talk about the Israelite right now, Jehu, King Jehu, and these are other Israelites, with them bring those tributes. Not these guys here, right there, from over right there. The ones over here. Now those might be Israelites right there. Those 3 at the end. So if those are Israelites, that's about 13 Israelites. Jehu being the 14th king. All right. So hey, there you have it, man. The stele describes how Jehu brought or sent his tribute in or around 841 BCE. Jehu severed Israel's alliances with Phoenicia and Judah and became subject to Assyria. And I believe he had some wars with Aram, if I'm correct. It says, so the context of Jehu's submission was just after Shalmaneser defeated Hazael, the king of Syria. 2 Kings chapter 8, 7 through 15. It says, in those days, the Lord began to reduce Israel, and Hazael harassed them throughout the territory of Israel. 2 Kings 10:32. So during the reign of Jehu, Syrian king, Hazael was harassing Israel and attacking its land. The time frame lines up perfectly with the biblical account. All right, verse 31 reveals why these attacks were coming upon Israel. But Jehu was not careful to follow the teaching of the Lord, the God of Israel, with all his heart. He did not turn away from the sins that Jeroboam had caused Israel to commit. Yeah, because I believe he was the one that originally made those 2 cows, those I believe it was the Baal or whatever. I want to say one was in Bethel or something like that. It might even be here. Let me look to see. So Jehu didn't break away from the sins of Jeroboam. Absolutely, he did magnificent work by eliminating all idol worship from Israel, which I believe that's in chapter 10, or it might be in 9 or 10. It says, however, he decided to keep the 2 golden calves. Yep, one placed in Dan. Yep, case in point, here it is right there. He decided to keep the 2 golden calves, one placed in Dan and in ancient Bethel. There you go. Despite the fact they were still worshiping the same God. His name is not Yahweh, but these scholars are going to say what they want to say is Yahweh. They were not worshiping him in the way he instructed. A rich food platform excavated at Tell Dan Nature Reserve, and they go on. God uses Hazael and Shalmaneser to reprimand Israel. Jehu accomplished to pay off the Assyrians, as did the heir to the throne, Jehoash, and many other Israelite kings. However, the events that followed were inevitable. It was just a matter of time until Israel fell into Assyrian captivity between 721 and 718 BCE. The Assyrians were able to subdue the kingdom of Israel and drove them to captivity. From that point on, Israel appears to have vanished from history, which is a lie. All right, they're known as the lost tribes of Israel, but they're not so lost when you go into the Apocrypha. All right, so that's beautiful. Yeah, we're not going to continue. Actually, I believe that was it. So let's just go to see what that last paragraph was talking about, because that was it. It says the Black Obelisk was indeed a fantastic find. It describes all the military campaigns Shalmaneser III conducted, and because it is written in cuneiform, deciphering the inscription was one of the first steps for decoding the Assyrian language. Moreover, the obelisk mentions events that had a significant impact on the geopolitical situation in the Fertile Crescent at the time. For example, the Battle of Qarqar. About this battle, I have a separate poll because we don't care about that. So yeah, all right. So there you have it, man. That was the Black Obelisk Shalmaneser III, from Holy Land on Earth, I believe, or it might be from. I'm not sure exactly where this one is from. But hey, so let's go and wrap this up. I did say I was going to pull up those scriptures. Where is it? Here we go. So let's jump over here, grab the Bible real quick, and we'll jump over to 2 Kings. Oh, well, I forgot. Let me go to 9. 2 Kings chapter 9. All right, verse 1 says, And Elisha, the prophet, called one of the children of the prophets, and said unto him, Gird up thy loins, and take this box of oil in thine hand, and go to Ramoth Gilead. And when thou comest thither, look out there, Jehu, the son of Jehoshaphat, the son of Nimshi, and go in, and make him arise up from among his brethren, and carry him to an inner chamber. Excuse me. Then take the box of oil, and pour it on his head, and say, Thus said Yahweh, I have anointed thee king over Israel. Then open the door, and flee, and tarry not. So the young man, even the young man the prophet, went to Ramoth Gilead. And when he came, behold, the captains of the host were sitting, and he said, I have an errand to thee, O captain. And Jehu said, Unto which of all us? And he said, To thee, O captain. And he arose and went into the house, and he poured the oil on his head, and said unto him, Thus said Yahweh, power of Israel, I have anointed thee king over the people of Yahweh, even over Israel. And thou shalt smite the house of Ahab thy master, that I may avenge the blood of my servants the prophets, and the blood of all the servants of Yahweh at the hand of Jezebel. For the whole house of Ahab shall perish, and I will cut off from Ahab him that pisseth against the wall, and him that is shut up and left in Israel. And I will make the house of Ahab like the house of Jeroboam the son of Nebat, and like the house of Baasha the son of Ahijah. And the dog shall eat Jezebel in the portion of Jezreel, and there shall be none to bury her. And he opened the door and fled. Then Jehu came forth to the servants of his lord, and one said unto him, Is all well? Wherefore came this mad fellow to thee? And he said unto them, Ye know the man and his communication. And they said, It is false. Tell us now. And he said, Thus and thus spake he to me, saying, Thus said Yahweh, I have anointed thee king over Israel. Then they hasted and took every man his garment, and put it under him on the top of the stairs, and blew with trumpets, saying, Jehu is king. All right. And I believe in this chapter, if you continue on, you start to hear about assassinations and Jezebel and stuff like that. All right. But we're not going to read all that. We're going to jump over to 10. All right. Let's go down to verse 18 here. All right, 2 Kings chapter 10, verse 18 says, And Jehu gathered all the people together, and said unto them, Ahab served Baal a little, but Jehu shall serve him much. All right, going all the way off. He says, now therefore call unto me all the prophets of Baal, all his servants, and all his priests. Let none be wanting, for I have a great sacrifice to do to Baal. Whosoever shall be wanting, he shall not live. But Jehu did it in subtlety, to the intent that he might destroy the worshippers of Baal. All right, so he's pulling a ruse here, a trick. It says, and Jehu said, proclaim a solemn assembly for Baal, and they proclaimed it. And Jehu sent through all Israel, and all the worshippers of Baal came, so that there was not a man left that came not. And they came into the house of Baal, and the house of Baal was full from one end to another. It says, and he said unto him that was over the vestry, bring forth vestments for all the worshippers of Baal. And he brought them forth vestments. And Jehu went, and Jehonadab, the son of Rechab, into the house of Baal, and said unto the worshippers of Baal, search and look that there be here with you none of the servants of Yahweh, but the worshippers of Baal only. All right, and so he want to make sure it wasn't no Israelites here about to slaughter, or faithful, worshippers of the Lord, I guess you could say. Well, we'll just say, Israelites in general, because they might not have, well, I'm not sure. I won't say how, because we didn't read through everything, so because they could have been going off at this point. So just making sure there were no of his own men that he was going to slaughter. He wanted all the ones, whoever was going to worship Baal, he wanted them only. All right, that's the best way to say it. It says, and when they went in to offer sacrifices and burnt offerings, Jehu appointed 80 men without, and said, if any of the men whom I have brought into your hands escape, he that letteth him go, his life shall be for the life of him. And it came to pass, as soon as he had made an end of offering the burnt offering, that Jehu said to the guard and to the captains, go in and slay them, let none come forth. And they smote them with the edge of the sword, and the guard and the captains cast them out, and went to the city of the house of Baal. And they brought forth the images out of the house of Baal, and burned them. And they break down the image of Baal, and break down the house of Baal, and made it a draught house unto this day. Thus Jehu destroyed Baal out of Israel. Howbeit, from the sins of Jeroboam the son of Nebat, who made Israel to sin, Jehu departed not from after them, to wit, the golden calves that were in Bethel, and that were in Dan. And the Lord Yahweh said unto Jehu, because thou hast done well in executing that which is right in mine eyes, and hast done unto the house of Ahab according to all that was in mine heart, thy children of the 4th generation shall sit on the throne of Israel. But Jehu took no heed to walk in the law of Yahweh, power of Israel, with all his heart, for he departed not from the sins of Jeroboam, which made Israel to sin. You see, Israel constantly going off, and that's been a major problem even to this day. Idol worship, one of the biggest problems and stumbling blocks for Israelites, even to this modern day. Idol worship, they will not turn away from their idols, right? It says, but Jehu took no heed to walk in the law of the Lord Yahweh, power of Israel, with all his heart, for he departed not from the sins of Jeroboam, which made Israel to sin. In those days, Yahweh began to cut Israel short, and Hazael smote them in all the coast of Israel. And we read all this when we were going through those inscriptions and all those things, all right? So it says, in those days Yahweh began to cut Israel short, and Hazael smote them in all the coast of Israel, from Jordan eastward, all the land of Gilead, the Gadites, and the Reubenites, and the Manassites, from Aroer, which is by the river Arnon, even Gilead and Bashan. Now the rest of the acts of Jehu and all that he did and all his might, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the Kings of Israel? And Jehu slept with his fathers, and they buried him in Samaria. And Jehoaz his son reigned in his stead. And the time that Jehu reigned over Israel and Samaria was 28 years, right? Lining up with what we talked about from like 842 to 815, all right, somewhere between there, all right? And the black obelisk was dated back to 841 BC. And it was discovered back in 1846. So, hey, there you have it, man. History, man. So we'll leave it at that. Lord willing, you edify to next time. Yashua, I'm going to say shalom.